Smells good. We hope it's going to be tasty.
Good.
So here we go. Here we
It smells
go.
soothing. It smells sweet too.
It does smell sweet. Look at that, guys. We're going to let that steep 3 to 5 minutes, and then we will have our reveal on camera. Well, hey there, BookTube. Welcome back to the History Shelf. My name is Peg. Now, many of you know that I love history, but how many of you know that I love tea? Maybe a few of you know, but I love tea, and I like to drink tea when I'm reading. So I thought I'd make a mashup video about talking about books I'm reading, finishing up this week, and books I'll be starting this week. Just giving you a reading update, as it were. And I also wanted to spotlight and drink on camera a new tea that I'm trying. Thanks to Plum Deluxe. They sent me a free little sample of their. They have I've seen their ads on Instagram, and I've always been intrigued. This is loose leaf tea, but they sent me Reading Nook Tea. It's black tea, which is my favorite. Black tea is my favorite. And it's Reading Nook. How perfect is that? So it came with a cute little, came in this little bag with a little strainer for the loose leaf. I brewed it up. I tried to do a little footage of me brewing up the tea. So if that, I hope we can get it into the beginning of this video. So if we do, yay, then I hope you enjoyed it. And then if not, sorry. But here's the tea. Oh, and it's good. The Reading Nook tea here. It has this wonderful aroma, rose petals, lavender, chamomile, and vanilla essence. So it smells super sweet. But when you actually drink it, it has a very mellow. I wish you could smell it on here, but you can see the rose petals in there. It's a very aromatic blend. But it's not too sweet, and it doesn't have anything spicy in it, which I don't typically care for. It's a very good, solid black tea. I like to have a black tea that has a little bit of a bite to it. I brewed this. It says to steep about 3 to 5 minutes. I did about 4 minutes steep on mine. And that's delicious. And in fact, for an extra treat, I could see putting in a little splash of my vanilla just for my pump, just a quick little splash, but it does have the vanilla essence in it, and it's delicious. So while I'm looking over my books, thought I'd have some Plum Deluxe tea, and a shout out to the Plum Deluxe tea folks out there. Thank you for the sample. I do highly enjoy it, and I will probably order some and drink this again, because as we move into fall and winter, my tea drinking goes through the roof. When summer, I just kind of stopped drinking my little mixes, my London Fogs, but I want to get back into that. But I enjoy these black tea mixes that they kind of remind me of the holidays too. So Plum Deluxe Reading Nook tea. Perfect. All right. So I hope you're all doing all right out there. Hope your Labor Day weekend was a good one. I am finishing up this book that I'll be writing a review for Book Browse. It's a brand new book that I don't think it's been, the last one on this topic was probably 10 to 20 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. But I am currently reading and about to finish Kent State, An American Tragedy by Brian Vandermark. This is by Norton, W.W. Norton. And again, I'm reviewing it for Book Browse. I'll be writing that review probably starting tomorrow night. And it's not an incident I have studied a lot in all my various history readings, but I'm obviously very aware of it. Most people are, especially the iconic photo, most related to this event of the person killed on the ground, and then the woman above him just screaming why, and it's very dramatic, and it was, it just spoke 1,000 words, but learning a lot about just how it all happened, and it's really, really just sad. It's just so unfortunate because you can see where a lot of things could have been diffused, and you could have seen where, well, needed some better leadership on the part of the National Guardsmen, but everyone in this book is just made to seem really human, the students, the guards, the guardsmen, the Ohio National Guard, but it's a page turner. It's very well written, and almost done. So I'm going to be reviewing that, and so when you want to read that review, just follow me on my social media accounts. You'll see them in the description box because that's where I post them. Another book that well, let's see here. I've got two reviews to write this week. That's right. Okay. I'm finishing up another review on The Price They Paid, and then, which I showed to you before. And now I need to dive into some new things. This bad boy, I gotta start cranking on this. I gotta get into this. This is The War of the Presidents, Lincoln versus Davis by Nigel Hamilton. It's a big beastie of a book, about 700 pages without anything else, just readable text. So Lincoln versus Davis, I need to start reading this week, probably tomorrow. Oh, this one I don't have to read for another couple weeks. Okay, I'll hold off on showing you that one. As part of, I forgot to bring in the other book I'm reading. Hold one moment. Okay, sorry about that. I am back. As part of my co-hosting of the Red September event that Christy Lewis at Dostoevsky in Space, her channel, Dostoevsky in Space, I can say it. I'm a co-host of that event along with several other folks, and anyway, we are reading our own kind of readings along with a general read for everyone out there in the audience to follow along if they want. We picked a short little edition to get people more educated and just illuminated on the Soviet Union and communism. So I'll be reading this month. This is Stephen Lovell's very short introduction, the Soviet Union. This is part of that very popular Oxford University Press series, the Very Short Introductions series. They've got a million of these, any topic you can imagine, stimulating ways into new subjects. So that's interesting, stimulating ways into new subjects. So I picked this up. It's like $12 on Amazon, so I picked this up. Yeah, we're going to be reading this all together. If anyone wants to join us, it's early September still, so you can still join us for Red September. And I'll try to remember to link to Christy Lewis's main page so you can follow our updates about it. But anyway, just a very short introduction on the Soviet Union. As you can see, very tiny. Got to start that. But then the book I want to read for that event that I'll come back and report on at the end of the month is this brand new book coming out in a week, September 10th. And this is Sean McMeekin's new book that I can't wait to get into. And this is To Overthrow the World, The Rise and Fall and Rise of Communism. He wrote, Stalin's War, a few other different books, The Ottoman Endgame, and a couple more. But anyway, I've got an advanced review of this, so I am going to be digging into this. As soon as I get these other two reviews written, I've got a little bit of breathing room to really dive in and just kind of cleanse the mind, because it's hard to be writing a review and then starting a new book when I'm trying to outline the book's premise, what it's setting out to do, all those type of things for, talking about and or writing about in a review. So I like to finish up writing projects and then dive into, starting something new. So I'll be reading that. I'll be starting that this week. And then I'm reviewing, I gotta get going on this one too, which I hope to have. I'll be writing a review on this one for something else. So those two books actually that I just showed you. So these are in support of my Red September. Okay, got those two books. And then we're going to be going into some of my review work, if you want to know what I'm reading for my review work. I've got a couple of them on my, I've got some ebooks. So this time around I wanted to be prepared to kind of just show you actual covers. This is a first for me. I have never reviewed a graphic novel before. So I am super excited about that because it's just a new way of reviewing. So I need to kind of look at some other reviews and see how people generally treat graphic novels. Just, such a blend of not only writing skill, but obviously the artistic. So I do want to do a little research on how to do it. But when I saw this book, I'll be reviewing this for Shelf Awareness. I requested this because I've been intrigued by this female writer all my life. I remember trying to read her book Nightwood when I was a teenager, and it was like, I don't think I would even understand it now. But there's a brand new graphic novel coming out, and I can't wait. I've already started reading a few of the panels, and I'm like, this is going to be so good. But I'm reading Juna, The Extraordinary Life of Juna Barnes by John Macy. So that is that's the cover. I've got the the advanced e-galley here, but good stuff, huh? So I'm reading this on here, and I'm having so much fun with it. This I need to finish by September 8th. I need to have my review in by September 8th. Today, so I got 5 days. So yeah, this one I've already started. So I've started Juna, and okay, it's a really cool cover. I'm reading that one, and then for historical novels review, I've got 3 reviews due for them by the middle of the month. Hang on, I'm going to find it. I want to show you the cover. Oh, I don't know if it has a cover. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'm reading Dead Ground by Graham Hurley. It is a World War II kind of adventure thriller. I showed you in my last video on some of the books that I had gotten recently, and one of them was a book by Graham Hurley. So the next book I'm going to be reading and reviewing for Historical Novels Review is this one here called Foreign Seed, a novel. This one is not, for some reason, okay, well it is running in our November issue, but it was published in July. So they were probably just looking for a reviewer. And of course I'm the one who says, just throw it my way because it sounds intriguing. No one else wanted it. Go figure. Plum Deluxe, thank you for this tea. That is a good tea, I'm not going to lie. So, what is this one about? Foreign Seed, a novel by Alison Alsop. This is put out by Keylight Books, an imprint of Turner Publishing. China, June 1918. When the explorer Frank Meyer suddenly disappears from a ferry on the Yangtze River, American Vice Consul Samuel Sokobin is tasked with finding the missing man. With no clues to guide his search and fearing failure in his new post as a man of rank, Sokobin heads upriver. The investigation soon turns deeply personal as Sokobin can't help but conflate Myers' fate with that of his daring younger brother, a fighter pilot gone MIA in the World War. As he continues to desperately search for answers, Sokobin is forced to contend with the biggest question of all. What do we do when the answers we most desperately seek are the very ones that elude us? A sweeping tale of ambiguous loss and grief. Foreign Seed is a moving testament to friendship, faith, and the resilience of the human spirit. Okay. Yeah, so I'll be reading and reviewing this for the November 2024 issue of Historical Novels Review. All right. The next one for Historical Novels Review that I will be reviewing this month, and I'll be starting reading this this month. Everything has to get going this week. Everything I'm showing you in this video are things I'm either reading now or about to start tonight or tomorrow. Okay, so the next book is called the Janza by Wayne Carlin. This is put out by Publirati. It sounded different, so I volunteered for this one. The definition. So Janza is a storage area in a Jewish synagogue or cemetery designated for the temporary storage of worn-out Hebrew language books and papers on religious topics prior to proper cemetery burial. So that's what a Janza is, okay? Now the story says, in the Janza, Wayne Carlin reimagines his family's lives and fate if they had not come to America but stayed in his mother's village in Poland, where the rest of her extended family were murdered by the Nazis in 1941. Carlin commemorates and mourns that unutterable loss by making it present in the spirit of the words from the Passover Seder, which asks those at the table to recount the story of oppression as if they had lived it themselves. In luminous descriptive language and a fascinating weave of tales, he brings his readers to live those lives as if they were there in that village in Poland, with its everyday fabric of love and laughter, right until the time when the everyday became the unthinkable. So, it sounds really good. So this one actually might be, because sometimes we'll cover a couple of no, this is a novel. All right. So he kind of fictionalized the family's issues. Okay. So the Janza by Wayne Carlin, who I then looked up and I realized he's written a lot of different books that look like I might enjoy some of his other ones. So anyway, another novel that I'll be starting this week. Another book I need to start this week for review for Washington Independent Review of Books is No Road Leading Back, An Improbable Escape from the Nazis and the Tangled Way We Tell the Story of the Holocaust by Chris Heath. I know I've shown this book before, probably in a new History on the Horizon episode. I've already read the prologue, but now I just got to get into the story. And I need to get this review. It's about a 500-page read. So, and I want to try to get the review done in the next 2 weeks. Yeah. And I'm hitting my busy time at work, so it's going to be kind of difficult. But this is by Shokin Books, or Shokin, No Road Leading Back. And I'm not reading the description just because I think I've read this to you before, and you could always go back and look at my catalog of New History on the Horizon books or videos, but it's about basically a dozen prisoners who escaped from a place where they were having to were they digging up bodies? They were exhuming. They had the horrible duty of, they were forced by the Nazis to exhume bodies and incinerate them all in a month, because they're trying to hide the evidence. The Nazis were. But anyway, so these dozen prisoners, they kept them in a hole, like a very deep pit in the ground at night. That's where they would sleep, so they couldn't get out, say at a ladder or whatever. But what happened was they tunneled their way out. They dug underground and they escaped, or some of them did. But this is all about that. So No Road Leading Back by Chris Heath is one I'm going to be finishing, or starting and finishing and writing a review for this month. So the last two books, one of them I don't know if I'm going to have time to get to. I probably won't, to be honest with you, because things are really busy. I've got a Buddy Holly hair, is what Martina's calling it today. Whoa, it is. Whoa. Love it. Okay. But in case you wanted to know, and I could also include this book just for your own edification if it interests you. I'm intrigued by it, but at some point I'm also a little scared by it to read this. Not really scared, but I don't know what is this about exactly. But I would have to have this written in the next 10 days, and I just don't know if that's going to happen, because I still have to read it, and I haven't gotten a chance to yet. But this is Opus, The Cult of Dark Money, Human Trafficking, and Right-Wing Conspiracy Inside the Catholic Church by Gareth Gore. This is put out by Simon & Schuster, and this book is coming out October 8th. I think I said that, which means I would have to have my review in a month beforehand. So it's pretty thick. Not gonna lie, it's over 300 pages, but we'll see. But let me go ahead and read this description to you. Maybe I'll make up my mind if I want to try to cover this one or not. A thrilling expose recounting how members of Opus Dei, a secretive ultra-conservative Catholic sect, pushed its radical agenda within the church and around the globe using billions of dollars siphoned from one of the world's largest banks. Okay, so for over half a century, Banco Popular was one of the most profitable banks in the world, until one day in 2017, when the Spanish bank suddenly collapsed overnight. When investigative journalist Gareth Gore was dispatched to report on the story, he expected to find yet another case of unbridled capitalist ambition gone wrong. Instead, he uncovered decades of deception that hid one of the most brazen cases of corporate pillaging in history, perpetrated by a group of men sworn to celibacy and self-flagellation, who had secretly controlled Popular, the name of the bank, Banco Popular, and abused their positions there to help spread Opus Dei to every corner of the world. Drawing on unparalleled access to bank records, insider accounts, and exclusive interviews with whistleblowers from within Opus Dei, Gore reveals how money from the bank was used to lure unsuspecting recruits, some of them only children, into lives of servitude. Whoa. He also tracks the ascent of Opus Dei within the United States, exposing its role in bankrolling many right-wing cases or causes, including the Supreme Court's overturning of Roe v. Wade. In an era of disinformation and deepfakes, here's a real-life conspiracy that hid in plain sight for more than 60 years. Gore tells a shocking story of money and power that spans decades and continents, documenting Opus Dei's secret history for the first time. This thrilling work of investigative storytelling raises important questions about the dark forces that shape our society. Now, can someone out there tell me, is this true? Documenting Opus Dei's secret history for the first time. Hasn't anyone else written about Opus Dei? Or maybe he's just saying my claims have not been made before. I don't know. So can you see where I'm at with this? It's like I'm intrigued, but on the other hand, I'm like, I don't know if I can handle any more books or ideas about conspiracies and there's someone hidden behind the curtain that's pulling all the strings, and so why bother living? Do you know what I'm saying? I think I might want to rethink this one. It's just a little too dark. Peg needs some more light. And I may not have time to get to it to write a review. But I might try to poke around, and I think I might try to read here and there. I'll see if I find something completely, just over the top, crazy, maybe I'll bring it to you, but anyway, be aware of it. And then I think I am going to I'm going to review this novel for Shelf Awareness by the end of the month, because the publication date on this moved again. Now it's coming out October 31st or 30th. But, yeah, this is like another independent writer, but I've seen her. She's got several books out, and I'm kind of intrigued. She's a historical fiction writer, and I do want to check this out. But this is The Graze of Truth by Sharon Vertz. Put out by Flashpoint Books. Anyway, this comes out October 30th, I believe. If I check Amazon, it'll give me the most up-to-date. So The Graze of Truth, right? What's going on in this cover? I don't know. Okay. In Reconstruction era Baltimore, members of the city's elite keep turning up dead. Below the polished surface of high society, there are illicit affairs, jilted lovers, financial hardships, and countless motives for murder. When Jane Grey Wharton's husband Ned dies unexpectedly while overnighting at his brother's home, Jane has no reason to question the circumstances of his death. But on a visit to the same house a few weeks later, both Jane and her daughter fall gravely ill, and Jane begins to suspect foul play. Though a trained chemist and former nurse, Jane is haunted by a history of delusion, loss, and institutionalization. As the unexpected and devastating deaths begin to multiply, Jane's grip on reality starts to slip. When a respected Army officer falls terribly ill after visiting the Whartons' Baltimore home, Jane's greatest fears become all too real. The time has come to act, but who will believe her? And can she even trust her own mind? Inspired by true events involving one of Baltimore's most powerful families, okay, the Graze of Truth, is the story of one woman's quest for answers in her fight for redemption and to save the man she loves. All right. Reconstruction era Baltimore. So this should be interesting. I know she's got another book that I want to read. I saw it on Hamilton Book, actually. And I can't remember the name of it, but I have it in my cart. Whenever I get around to that one. So the Graze of Truth is something, I'll probably start this one later. I'll probably start in the middle of the month. But anyway, I thought I'd just show you what I'm kind of working on right now. There are more other things I want to start. I want to start prepping for an author interview that I hope to have in the beginning of October. But I want to read this first, obviously. This is Moral Fiber by Helena P. Schrader, who wrote and is writing the awesome trilogy on the Berlin Airlift right now. I've covered the first two books in that series called Cold Peace and then Cold War. The third book will be out next year, early next year, called Cold Victory. She's a fantastic writer. I'm loving her Berlin Airlift trilogy, and she reached out to me and has sent me some more of her books. And this one features a character from the Cold War and Cold Peace books. So, and she says it really gives you an insight into, what happened to him and all this kind of stuff. So I was like, yes, I would love to read this. And then I picked up on my own a book of hers which has some short stories, and this is called Grounded Eagles, which also serves a group of like little 3 stories. And there are 3 tales of the RAF in World War II. Stranger in the Mirror, A Rose in November, and Lack of Moral Fiber, which ties into, she said I should actually read the short story in here that features this lack of moral fiber, features this guy who features in this book, Kit Moran. And this is all about him. Oh, I guess I should, let me just read to you what this is about. Their chances of survival were less than 50%. Their average age was 21. This is the story of just one Lancaster skipper, his crew, and the woman he loved. It is intended as a tribute to them all. Flying officer Kit Moran has earned his pilot's wings, but the greatest challenges still lie ahead. Crewing up and returning to operations. Things aren't made easier by the fact that while still a flight engineer, he was posted LMF, meaning lacking in moral fiber, for refusing to fly after a raid on Berlin that killed his best friend and skipper. Nor does it help that he is in love with his dead friend's fiancée, who is not yet ready to become romantically involved again. Wow. Yeah, and these are real photos. So and Helena told me when we were emailing each other that I think she we're going to cover that story because there's something going. I mean, I think this is a real person, and I'm not sure how he's tied to her, the writer, but I think there's something there that we're going to have a lot to talk about. So I need to get on these two and get those read so I can be ready for that interview once I can get it scheduled. Because the goal here is I really want to get some more content on here about have authors speaking to their work. I'm going to be scaling back on certain videos and doing more of other videos where I'm just kind of trying to talk to you more about, even if they're books I've written paid reviews for and I can't go into a lot of detail, I can at least give you maybe weekly or bi-weekly updates. And I've fallen off of that where I can at least give you a heads up like, hey, this one was really great. Here are some of the strengths, boom. But I'm not giving away all the details or have a conflict of interest with my paid published reviews. So I want to get around to that, and I want to start reading my backlog, or my, just the stuff that's on my shelves. I do want to do that. I know I joked in my last video about not being a person who reads one of her own. Actually, I've been dying to start reading my own again. Yeah, the book reviewing has really taken off, which is great. But Peg is like lonesome for her shelves again. I'm lonesome for all the books that I have on here that I walk by and I'm like, oh gosh, I really want to read that, So I just really want to do that. That's all. And then I want to come on here and talk about it, drink some tea, play with the dogs, do whatever. But author interviews are something I'm really excited about doing, as well as I'm teaching myself how to edit more. So I might, in the future, guys, I'm going to be trying to, jazz up the videos a bit more with some stuff. If that matters to you. I don't know. But anyway, what do you think? You think I got enough going on here for the month of September? There's just a few. And there's a couple more. There's a couple more. And, yeah, not sure about Opus. Someone out there, in the comments below, give me your, should I read it or should I not? I don't know. Of course, that all depends on if I have the time. But in the meantime, I forgot to mention, this is not only, Plum Deluxe sent me Reading Nook Black Tea, but they also sent me another flavor to sample, which I might do in another video. This one I have not tried yet, but this is called Comfort Blend Black. Ooh, looking good. This one, so this one's going to have a little bit of spice to it, but hopefully not too much. Black tea, cinnamon chips, orange peel, ginger, clove, and orange extract. I should say Plum Deluxe Tea is out of Portland, Oregon. That is Martine's American hometown. She's from Dublin, obviously, originally, but Portland. Who knew? I didn't know that they were out of Portland. What do you know? That is so fantastic. So Plum Deluxe, thank you for the Reading Nook tea. I do enjoy it. For you sweet tooths out there, you might want to just do a little tap of something extra in there. But I find this tastes just delicious by itself. I'm typically a tea person that likes to drink tea unadorned. The only time I segued from that was when I was drinking the London Fogs, because that's bells and whistles. That's froth, milk froth. We've got vanilla, flavoring and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, mostly all my life I've just drank tea just completely straight, including green tea. I'm kind of hardcore. I don't put anything in it. So that's really great. So thanks again, guys. So that's my little reading update, my little drinking tea update. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. I appreciate y'all visiting. And until next time, take care out there and read more history.